All You Need to Know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning and happy Friday to you. This is the All You Need to Know podcast on Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 28th of August. In the top news, the central government has given states just one choice to make up for the revenue shortfall they've faced on account of the shift to the GST, which has been estimated at 2.35 lakh crore rupees. They're going to have to borrow more. At the end of a 5-hour-long GST Council meeting yesterday, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman briefed the media to say that states have been offered two options to resolve the issue of compensation cess shortfall under the goods and services tax. In the first option, according to the centre, only 97,000 crore rupees of the total shortfall is on account of GST implementation. The rest, according to the centre, is due to COVID-19 and not provided for under the GST constitutional amendment. States have been given the option to borrow that 97,000 crore rupees from the Reserve Bank of India via a special window, details of which were not forthcoming. The second option offered to the states is to borrow the full shortfall of 2.35 lakh crore rupees. Do look up the story on the website bloombergquint.com for more details as well as the reaction from the states. The other big story comes from overseas. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell unveiled a new approach to setting US monetary policy, letting inflation and employment run higher in a shift that will likely keep interest rates low for years to come. Following a more than year-long review, Powell said yesterday that the Fed will seek inflation that averages 2% over time, a step that implies allowing for price pressures to overshoot after periods of weakness. It also adjusted its view of full employment to permit labour market gains to reach more workers. The reading from market participants is that low interest rates are here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. Treasury yields jumped and stocks in the US managed to register gains, with the Dow ending higher by 0.6% and the S&P 500 climbing just under 0.2%. The Nasdaq, however, declined 0.3%. Asian equities have started the day mixed, with the Nikkei 225 flat and the other two early risers heading in opposite directions. Speaking of markets, the currency market back home was in focus yesterday. The rupee gained sharply in afternoon trade and ended at 73.81 against the US dollar, its highest level in 5 months. This after RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das said that the central bank has not exhausted its ammunition to deal with the current situation due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In other news back home, India has framed new rules to curb customs duty evasion and misuse of trade pacts. Increased documentation, additional disclosures, and a longer information retention period are some of the effects of the new rules of origin introduced for the purpose. In more international news, Walmart has teamed up with Microsoft in a joint bid to acquire TikTok, a surprise move that signals the company's desire to become a force in technology and media and reach younger shoppers. Walmart said in an emailed statement that the move could help grow its third-party online marketplace unit along with its nascent advertising arm, two areas that Chief Executive Officer Doug McMillon said he'd like to expand. And with that, it's over to Hormuz Fatakia for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Hormuz. How are we looking today?
Good morning to you, Alex, and to our listeners as well. The Sensex and Nifty saw their third consecutive FNO series gain in August, both of them nearly gaining 4% each. The Nifty Bank, though, was the outperformer this series, ending with gains of 9%. And three large banks, HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank and IndusInd Bank, will not be included by FTSE in its indices as they fail to meet the minimum foreign headroom requirement. On to the other stocks in focus now, and GMR Infra has received the approval of its board to spin off its non-airport business into a separate entity in order to simplify its corporate holding structure. The company will list the demerged entity as well. Three major announcements from Edelweiss Financial Services. First, the board has approved divesting 51% stake in its wealth management business to a private equity firm called PAGAC. Second, the board has also given its in-principle approval to sell the entire or part of the group's asset management business to a strategic investor. And third, the company's wealth management business will be demerged and subsequently listed on the bourses subject to approvals. Details on both GMR Infra and Edelweiss are available on our website, bloombergquint.com. Both companies will also be reacting to their quarterly results reported late last evening. Another company that will react to results is NMDC, and it said that it lost iron ore sales worth over 20 lakh tons due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in an overall revenue loss of 700 crore rupees during the June quarter. The company's board has also given its in-principle approval to demerge its iron and steel plant at Nagarnar in Chhattisgarh. Max India will be relisting on the bourses today. This follows the listing of Max Healthcare last week. The company says that it plans to invest over 300 crore rupees over the next 3 to 4 years across its new assisted care services business lines. Some of the buzzing stocks that I want to highlight today, one of which is Blue Star. The stock gained 10% on Thursday, ending higher for the 6th straight day. Thursday's move was the biggest single-day gain for the stock in 7 years. IndusInd Bank is the second one. Thursday's top gainer on the Nifty 50 index ended 7% higher and gained nearly 20% in the last 5 sessions. However, only 12% of the 5 crore shares traded on the stock on Thursday were marked for delivery. And lastly, watch for the mid-cap and small-cap indices, which ended with gains for the 9th straight day on Thursday. As of closing on Thursday, both Sensex and Nifty are up over 1.5% for the week, and the SGX Nifty in the early minutes of trade is flat at around the mark of 11,580. That's all from my end this week. With that, I wish you a safe day ahead and a happier weekend as well. Back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Hormuz. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great Friday and an even better weekend.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.